All right, this morning at 7:15, we continue our series Set for School, and today we're talking about why missing school matters for students and their families. Dr. Richard Reddick, the Associate Professor of the Department of Education over at the University of Texas at Austin down the road, is here with us this morning to talk about why missing school matters. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Sally.
Let's talk about the problem of absenteeism and why that is such an issue here.
Sure. Well, if we look at what's happening in Central Texas, about 2.3 million students are absent a year. And so it works out to be about $38 a day for a district to have kids missing. But it's not just about money, it's also about relationships. So you think about one of the most important things for kids in schools to establish relationships with adults, teachers, coaches, principals, and you can't do that if you're not there.
If you're not there.
Right.
And if you're not there, you also look at the issue of why a student isn't going to class. Tell me how economics plays a role in that. The family's income, does that affect whether that child goes to school on a regular basis or skips school?
It does, Sally. It's a huge issue. So if we have a chart, we're going to show it to you. If you look at the blue bar on the far left, those are our students who are on free lunch. Those students are the most affected by absences, and so it's a pretty significant impact. So you can see income really does play a role in how these students are affected by absences. The other thing I would say is that everything that sort of affects a middle income or a high income family affects those families even more. So things as simple as, oh, well, we have to make an appointment to take our kids to the doctor. If you've got two cars, if you've got two adults to take kids around, you can do that. If you have one car or one adult, it's much more difficult. And of course, non-medical issues are a huge issue. But also even kids who are going to the hospital for things like asthma or mental health issues, they're much more acute. And of course, the issue of like something as inconsequential as getting a ticket or going to a court date. Middle income, salaried employee, it's not a big deal. If you're working an hourly wage, if you have one vehicle, you got to make choices, and quite frankly, those choices sometimes mean that you get into worse trouble. So oftentimes the choices they decide to take care of that court date, take care of that ticket, and then the kid misses school.
Yeah, it's a good discussion to have because I think there are certain time restraints too when you have a family. You know, if you take your kid out of school at a certain time, it counts as an absence.
Absolutely.
So all of that adds up. And so for parents who are thinking, you know, Dr. Reddick, that kind of impacts me and my community, then what help is available for them out there if we know that it's a problem?
Sure. Well, I think it's about being a good citizen and a good community member. So if you actually have friends or you know people in the community who might need help, let them know that, hey, I've got a car. I can take your kids to school, drop them off, or pick them up. But also just being aware of the fact that these are the things we think about that are minor annoyances for middle-income families are much greater for low-income families. So just a general awareness of the fact that these are issues that really do impact low-income families much harder than most families.
Okay, thank you so much for being here and explaining to us why missing school matters. And of course, there is that attendance rally that we like to have in the fall of 2016 on September 7th. It happens at 9 to 10 in the morning on the terrace of the Long Center. It's free, it's open to the public. There's more information on our website at kxan.com. Thank you so much for being here again.
Thank you, Sally.
All right, so the weather